This is not drawing from my database here. Just a minute. Let me see what database this is. Select data sources. Okay. Okay, they are all here. So basically, what I'm trying to do is I want to make sure that the database that this notebook is drawing from is from the right one. Okay, let's run this again. Okay. Users. Let me look for transactions. So basically, we're working with 4 tables. I want us to work with 4 tables. Let me see transactions.
Yeah, hello, sir. Sir, can you try putting this .csv extension after the transaction or after the users?
That's the thing. I want, I've created a table. I don't want to be doing the .csv because it will make me start referencing the database now. See that it worked, but I want it to do. See what I did here before. I already said create table transactions. Then I want it to copy these things into those tables. But either way, but anyhow, if it doesn't work, continue that way. Because this is working. Select all from transactions is working, and this is it. This is what we have here. So I wonder why. Okay, so I'm getting from bank transactions. Okay, let me try without the .csv now. See, hopefully it works. It didn't work. Okay.
Check the table. Create table again.
Let me see. No, let me remove this and run it again. Let's run this again. Okay. Okay. Run this now. Okay, it's working now. I removed that. You said someone said
There's a
something.
.csv.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me try it without this. It's not working. Anyways, let's. It also. I don't want to be doing .csv. I love working with just straight table names like that. But inside here, when I do select all from transactions, it works. Bank transaction. Okay. Don't worry, it doesn't matter. We'll just do it that way. Let me try users.csv. If that works, then we'll continue. Because of time. Users.csv. Okay, that works. So look at we'll go with this, don't worry. So we have this is the index. You know what index is? This is the index. Then this is the user ID. We have 1, 2, all through to whatever. I don't know how many. But if you want to limit this, you know how to limit it. You want to see the first 10. We should know all this by now. So we can limit, let's say 10. You can limit the output to just 10. I don't want to see more than 10. So we're going to have just 10 of them. So 10. So name, email, sign up date, and the country. Remember, we're doing fintech, so stay with me. We're going to be doing some calculations here now. So these people are the users. Everybody that has account with the company or with the bank, with the fintech. Let me use OP for instance. These are people that have accounts with OP for now. Their sign up dates, this is the they registered, and the country they are from. Do we get? So same thing for what other table are we working with? We have account, merchant, transactions. Okay, let me just remember that. Accounts, merchants, and transactions. So we can do same thing here. Can do accounts, merchants, and transactions. So we have, I want to show you what the table house is. So we can now start from the merchants, that is spelling, okay, and transactions. So we have this. So we have users, accounts, merchants, transactions. So this one is the, okay, I don't know what this is. Transaction. Okay, yeah, this is the transactions. The last one, transaction table. Then this merchants table houses. Let me see. Okay, so just a minute. Now this data lab sometimes. I want to show you what is the table, so we can go on from there. So see the merchants table now. The merchants table will load now. The merchants table house is the merchant name. As I said, we have this is the merchant name, the merchant ID, the category, and the city. Just 4 columns. And the city. We have Accra, London. So just memorize this. This is the merchant table. Then we also have, let me show you the accounts table. So the accounts table would have the account numbers of the users, the company, and the user ID. You would see the account type, whether savings, checking. See the created day. This is active, whether they're active or closed. And this is the balance, the account balance in the account. So I think that's all we have, the 4 of them. Now, back to what we have today. We will be using 4 CSV files, as I said, and I've already imported them in our, this is the Postgres SQL environment, which is what Data Lab is hosted on. So then they are all connected together. I've created relationships with them and I've showed you those relationships. So we have established those ones. So, but today, what we're looking at is, let's start with window functions. Let me break it down. So before I write any code, I'll do some explanation. Jamiu, you answer up. Jamiu.
Yes.
Yeah.
My question relates to if after creating table, if we do want to import or the data are difficult to import, how do you create the data
Okay,
inside those
inside here.
values?
Okay.
Yes.
So I don't know if you joined early. So what I did, here. So we have, okay. So I created the tables using all the keywords, the syntax, created these tables, but I already uploaded the data. Let me show you how I uploaded it. So you can come here or just come to this place, come to this and say new data source. So this is how I brought the data as CSV files here. So you just click new data source to ask you, do you want to do it as Google Sheets, Postgres, blah blah blah. Then you choose, you can drag and drop or browse files from your computer's engine. So this was the option I use. So when you select the 4 files or however number you want to use, it will just take you to where you can name the name, like the database, you can name it, that will house those 4 tables. So when you do that, it will come here. See it here. So I named this one bank transactions. So if you want to get more info about it, you can explore and you see it here, the 4 tables here. So that's how you do it. And yeah, you get. So that's how you do it. So when you create the tables, you created the tables, then you use this syntax to fill whatever is inside here into here. Something like select copy users from this CSV header so that it pulls in what is inside here into here. But what I was trying to do was, I don't know why it did not work. What it's supposed to do is after doing that, after writing that, it's supposed to just work with from user. I don't need to start saying .csv, but I will investigate that after the lessons. Let's just continue because of time.
Sorry, I mean, without if we don't have any data, we are to insert the values ourselves.
Okay. Yourself, you use insert into.
Okay, can you
After
do an
creating it,
example for each type of data, like for integer, for text, and for date? Because I tried doing that with date, I was getting multiple errors.
it didn't work with for you.
The date I created, I couldn't insert the values for dates. I couldn't.
Okay,
Yes,
it didn't work for you. Okay, so
I
what
think
we do,
there
we
is
do
a
it.
syntax. There is a it had to follow a syntax, a form, for it to accept the date I was entering.
Okay, so this is what we do. We'll do it together now. So we use the syntax insert into. So after creating, you just say insert. Let me do it. Let's see it. So I don't want to mess this up, but I'll just show you from here to see how it works. And see how you do it. So after creating the table, you now say insert into. Remember, you always specify the name of the table. So let's say merchant. Assuming I've already created the table. So you say insert into merchant. Then you open a bracket. So remember that merchants only have, that's why when you create table, specify how many columns you have. It's just like you build a house, you specify how many rooms you want. Then you now start putting the number of people you want in those rooms. That's what we're doing here. So the number of rooms I've created is the number of tables, the number of columns. So I'll say insert into merchant. I don't need to do any scenario. Merchant, and the first column here is merchant ID, right? I will just say 1. You see it. So insert into, I forgot something. Insert into merchant. Then you now say values. Don't forget this. I always forget it. So values is what values you're trying to tell the database that, oh, I want to put some values into this table. So inserting into merchants, and these are the values. It's just like telling a story. That was equality. So I'll say 1, comma, which is supposedly supposed to be the first merchant ID. The second one is merchant name. I can use a colon for that. Not you can, you should, because that is text. So we are specific. You can just say, let me say John Stewart. Let me just use John Stewart. Another comma. Then the next one, which is the category, supposedly. Category of the merchants. Oh, sorry. Category of the merchants is let's use fintech. Let me just use fintech. So that's also take a column we are quoting because it's text. When it comes to date, you would depend on the date. Usually just go with like this is how date works in Postgres. Something like this. Never use slash. Never use slash. Always do your dates like this. There's no date in merchant. I'm just saying in case this was your date text date format, always use this hyphen. So don't use slash. Put it this way. Then when you are done, you close the bracket and you run it. It will just fill it in for you. Do you get?
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So date
Yeah.
doesn't need a quote. Doesn't need to be in a quote.
No, you put it in a quote. Put it in a quote. This is my quote. You put it in a quote. You put it in a quote. You put it like this. But then there's a trick to it. There are sometimes that if you want to insert multiple rows, this thing I did now is if you want to insert one row. If you want to insert multiple rows, see what you do. You say insert into employees. You can just avoid errors. Maybe that's why you are getting errors. Say insert into maybe merchant. Sorry, insert into merchant. Then you call what the columns that merchant has. Merchant has merchant ID. Yeah, merchant ID. Then you put a comma. You just state all the columns it has. Merchant name underscore. Okay. Merchant name, put a comma. Then we have category. The comma, also have city. So when you do it this way, we are saying this is insert into merchant, and these are the tables, the columns. Then you say values. Then you put this. Then under values, you can just bring it this way. Then start putting all your values one by something like this. Is more neat this way. So once you're done with the first one, you go to the next one. You open bracket like that. Probably this is let me copy this and just paste this here. And maybe this is 2, and this is how John Stewart. We have David Stewart. But do you get the logic?
Yes, I do. I do. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Okay. So if you want to do long, but all this would probably take your time. So what I did, I just got the data and copied it into it. So
Sorry, I have a question.
yeah, go ahead.
For the column names, are you to be the one that will write the columns yourself, or you check it from the CSV file?
It's not yourself. Oh, you see where I took the column names, right? These column names are identical to what is in my data. So
Okay, it's
you must
contained it's
in the
contained in the CSV files.
yes. So
Okay,
there are two
okay.
things. I would have showed you. Don't worry, in our next class, I think I should be the one handling breakout session next week. So the next one, I won't use data lab environment. I will use pgadmin 4. So I'll show you how you do it. These things don't come from anywhere. If you want to copy from a data itself that you have, and you want to create a table manually, you should create a table manually. You would do like this, then you state whatever it's in that CSV file. If anything misaligns, you have it will throw up errors for you. Though in our next class, I'll address all of that. But this is how you do it. So in my table, we have merchant ID, merchant name, everything is in this order. So that's how you do it. Do you get?
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. So let's go ahead. So first thing, so as I was saying, we are looking at window functions, and so I'll start very granular. I'll start by explaining what window functions does. So normally, right, we have the group by. So let's play with something. This is the transact. Okay, let's just play around with something. Let me play around with something here. So okay. So let's see. Select. Let me use this table. This table is my. This is my account table. So let's use this. So let's select. Always avoid selecting all. Always go to choose what columns you want. So selecting all. So it's just a tip in case you're working with a large data set, so it doesn't lag. So let's go select account ID. Okay, select account ID, account type, account type. What else? Let's select the status. Let's select the balance. Select the balance from accounts account.csv. That's the name of the table there, apparently. Now, I'll need people's input. Let me see those that are really following along. If I want to use a group by, here, can I filter after using a group by? Can where come after a group by? Yes or no? Just tell me in the message area. Can where? Can it come after a group by function? Yes or no? Just yes or no. Just type it out. Let me see. I'm still waiting. Can the where function come after a group by? Yes or no? Jamiu says no. 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 Really? No. Foba says no. Okay. Just 3 persons. Okay, 4. We are 21 on this call. Oh. I'll be 20. Yes. Moses says yes. Okay. So yes or no, can where by now we should have passed this table. How many weeks into XPL? Can where come after a group by? No. Okay. So the thing is, when you are using a where function cannot come after a group by. Once you call group by, it's assume that you've done all the things you want, all the filtering you want to do. Group by cannot be used after before a where function. If you write a group by and you want to filter, you'd use having. Let me just do it here so we don't do more of theory. So from accounts, so let me just group. Let's group by the status. Group by the status. Now, if I want to filter here, you can't just say, you can't do it like this. Yes, Moses, don't worry. We are learning. So it's cool. So we can't filter here. You can't just see where after using group by. For me, I like to put it in real life. After grouping something, you now want to start saying where this now you have to do your where before you say your group by. But if you want to filter, you can use the having clause. Having, do you get? So just I want to do a simple group by so we can see what I'm trying to say. Just a simple group by. So what this will do is it would just it would aggregate everything status for the different statuses we have. We have active, we have closed. Now someone should tell me before I run this, is this syntax correct? Yes or no? And why? I want to really know that we are following. Is this syntax correct? Yes or no? And tell me why. Please, let's be active. Let's be active. Let's be active. We are in this together. We're not even really gone to. We're not started Windows function. So is this syntax correct? Yes or no? And why? Like if I run this, would you know group by needs an aggregation function? Okay, somebody else. But what do you mean by an aggregation function again?
I mean, if you're using group by, if you want to group by a certain category, then the other things, it needs to be either you're summing or you're averaging. Like you need to be summarizing
Good.
in some.
Let me show you guys something. If you run this, see what it will throw up. You see, first things first, this account ID must appear in the group by clause or must be part of an aggregate function. So you are supposed to only group when you are performing an aggregate function, when you are doing aggregation. Summing, either you're summing, either you're averaging. Let me show what I mean. Let me do the sum of the balances now. And when you do something like this, sum of all the balances for the grouping, I want to remember I want to group by the status. Now, would this work? From everything that's been said now, do you think this would work? Remember that it says that column ID must appear in the group by. So if you are grouping by, everything, see all this account ID must appear here. The ones that were not aggregated must appear here. Sum balance, let's alias it as total balance. I hope you know what aliasing is. Let me run this. I want to show you the error so you can know where there is issues. See what it said here. Account ID must appear in the group by clause or must be part of an aggregate function. So if you are not doing it as an aggregate function, if you are not using it, you must put it here at the group by. So group by status account, account ID, account type. Yeah, account type. Let me show you guys something. Now, did you see what happened there? What happened here was that it has aggregated everything. So we have the savings, we have the checking, savings, and all of that. We also have the status. But if I want to do a proper level this, and I would just let me remove this status and group by just account ID, and yeah. Yeah, so this is what I want to check. So from what you can see now, what this has done is that it has grouped the account types and the balance. So we can see it's grouping by the ID, the account type. So you can see, so you must call, as long as there is no aggregation here, you can't use a group by. So there's no point of grouping when you're not aggregating. So you must be summing, you must be averaging, you must be maxing, you must be meaning, like minimum, that's mean, MIN. So do you get the idea? Now back to the stuff I was talking about. At least we have idea of what group by does. It groups. Let me paint a picture for you guys. If two, maybe there are 10 people on a football field, and I ask you, group those people wearing, and the people wearing red shirts and blue shirts, and ask you to group those people wearing red shirts and blue shirts, what would you do? You would gather everyone wearing the red shirts to one side, the ones wearing the blue shirts to one side. But if I now ask you that why grouping them, I need to know the total males and females. That's an aggregation there. So you will start calculating the sum of males and females within the group. You see where the aggregation will come before the group. So that's how grouping works, bringing all things into a group. Now you see window functions. Window function is different because it allows us to see the group results by while keeping each row visible. I would explain. As you are grouping, you are not seeing each row. You are not seeing the. Let me use this. Let me go granular. Let me show you guys something. Let's remove account ID. Just stay with me, please. Let me move account ID. So I just want to see. Yeah, this is good. So look at this, for instance. Everybody's saving with checking account. The sum is 140, no, 1,144,825. Let's assume this is dollars. Savings, blah. You see the list is business account. Now, we just know the sum total of everyone using a checking account, but we don't know the individual. Like, it's not been broken down to a row level basis. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's where window functions come in. It fixes this because it allows us to see the group results. You will see the group results, but it will keep each row visible. So you would see those things that are making, or the persons in checking accounts that are making up this amount. Windows function will also allow us to see running total. We'll go into that. I'll show you how that works. So imagine let me just run a syntax. So let me use the transactions table now, for instance. So just stay with me. Stay with me. Should have created a new cell, not delete this. But then let's see account ID. Select account ID. We are selecting amount, and let's see the sum. See this aggregation. The sum of the amount. Okay, sum of the amount. Then see where Windows function coming now. Okay, let's name this as total of all. Let me just say total of all. Yeah, this is good. Then let's see from transactions. from transactions. Let me limit to 10. So let's see, let me show you guys something. Oh, that's CSV. You see something now. So you see what this did here now. You see what this did there. Did you see what this did here? Let me give you guys maybe 10 seconds to study this. Look at this code here. Look at the result. Did you see what this did here? It's showing me the amount of this individual accounts that contributed to this total. I would have not deleted this other one, the first code I ran. But did you see what happened there? This is the account ID. This is the amount that contributed to this total. So this is total of all, but this is the individual. That's where Windows function come in. Very beautiful, magnificent. And the idea of this creation is that you can see the individual contribution to a normal overall basis. So imagine I just group by, as I did before, I group by and I say group by account type. Fine and good, you will see the amount that the checking account has contributed, the savings account contributed, what other type, and all these individual accounts contributed. But you would not see the individual account level basis. So from this alone, we can see that, oh, this particular person, the amount is 150 contributing to this all total. So this is the syntax. After saying selecting account ID, which is this, we are selecting the sum, or let's put it, the sum of the amount, which is this, over. When you call this over now, over, just over, then you open bracket, close bracket as total. What this will do is that it brings out the individual amount, but also the total. So that is over. It's just like the I don't know how to put it, but how my head processes this thing is like this over this, like this is the numerator, but what is the total contribution? So this over this, out of this sum, and with this sum I have, it's over what, like over the total. So what this will do, it's just Jamiu, don't want to answer our question, just chill first. So what this will do is that it's not just aggregating it, but showing us the individual. So it shows us each transaction with the total of all the transactions by the side or beside it. But it's just not like group by. Group by will still show you every row. Sorry, unlike group by, it's still showing you every row. It's not just showing us the total. Jamie, you can go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah, my question relates to the this over this window function.
Okay.
If we have written the statement as select account ID amount, then sum of amounts.
Okay.
Wouldn't it have given us the same result, because it's the sum of amounts we wrote here. That's the sum of the total amount. And with the amount of individual contributed, this is the amount that is, if we check the table again for this exact account ID, I'm sure this is the amount that will be there.
Okay.
So I'm not seeing the effect of the total, the over.
Okay. So we'll see that. That's a very good question. Nice one. So let me show you. Let's not do plenty talk. So I'll just do this as Control X because I would love to bring it back. Then I'll run this. So you see the difference. What's the same? Here's the issue. Appear. Okay. Account ID must appear in the group by clause or must be part. You can see it. But let me just group it. Let me still group it. So you see the difference between group by and this. Let me group it. So let's group by the account ID. Account ID, right?
And amount.
Amounts. Let's do this. This should work. I wanted to alias this, but then let's see this. Did you see what happened? Fine and good. You can see the amount, but you can't see the how do I put it? You can't see the total beside it to compare.
Okay.
Do the total, you'd have to do the partitioning. The Windows function I was telling you about. Can you see the difference?
Okay, I can. I think
So
I
if
get
you
it now.
say
I think
you get it back
this is summing the amount that
of that person,
the yes. Okay.
but this time around when I Control Z, let me just remove this. Yeah, but when I do it like this, it's showing me number one. I don't even need to group it. That's because it's just like grouping, but showing me beside. I don't need to group it. I don't need to call any group by. I just need to do this. But I'll show you how we can use group by, order by instead, and partition. That's the next thing we'll do. So this is the difference. I can see. So I will say, out of all this amount, this is just contributing 150. Bro, 113, 1113. What happened? So you can make better decisions looking at something like this, seeing the total against the singular one. But let's do something else. Let me show you something else. No, what are you running? Okay, let's say let's use partition by. Let me show you what partition by. I'm sure most of you would have seen that. Let's this same transactions. Let's select account ID, right? Account ID. Let me use what else is here? Just wait. I like to see because I don't have everything in my head. Sometimes it flies away. I don't see everything in the what table do I want to use? Let's use let me use transactions table. So this is still fine. So this is the transactions table, right? Okay, this is accounts table. Okay, I want to see the transactions table. So the last one here, the last stuff here is what this thing will run. That's why I want to use this. So let's see the transactions table. Look at transaction. Remember, I'll just take note. We have transaction ID, account, merchant ID, because this is the mother table, all right? Amount, the currency, the date of the transaction, status, the device the person used, channel, blah blah blah. So let's go ahead. Let's go forward. So let's say account ID. Let me pick the transaction date here. Yes, good. So transaction dates, transaction date. Let's use amount. Let's see the amount. Then also want to see the sum of amounts. Show you something. Sum of the amount. Okay. So now let me see. Over in brackets. Remember the first thing I did? Thank God I didn't delete it. I used over and I open brackets. This over is a Windows function. It can take the place of like what can be inside this over and can be partition and order by. I'll show you something. Just stay with me. So over, then you call this word partition. Let's see, partition by, let's partition it by the account. Let's use the account ID for individual partitioning. Then after partitioning it by the account ID, by account, partition by account ID. This thing, I can't even see what I'm doing here. Partition by account ID, okay? Then after partitioning, it's issued order. Don't worry, I'll break all this down for us. Then let's order it by, let's see, by the same date it was transacted. Transaction date. So then let's call this running total. Let's call this running total. Then from where? From our transactions.csv. Is that okay? Then where, let's use where. This time around I'll use a where transaction ID. Where account. Let me look for one person. Where account ID is equal to For one account ID. Account ID. 1 1. Let me do 1113. Is that okay? 1113. 1113. Okay. Then still order by transaction date. You see the essence of transaction date. Sorry, dates. Okay, let me check. Now, let me show you the importance of window function. Do you see what was happening here? I am seeing every transaction of this guy. And not just I'm seeing the transaction of this guy, I'm seeing the date, I'm seeing the amount of each transaction, and I'm seeing the running total. Like, let's look at this as bankers now. This guy made the first transaction of $70. It was 70, right? He made another one plus 94. Do you know what this thing did? He did 94 plus 70 to give me 164. He did this plus this. Now his balance was 164. He did another transaction of 56. He added. So that's what we call it running total. I can't do this with a group by. Can never. See why Windows function is more preferred, but however, it's complex. So you can't do this with. Cannot do this. You can't do this with a group by. What this is doing is selecting the account ID, the date it was, which is the normal one we all know. Selecting this, okay? It's selecting the amount. But yeah, this is where the magic happens. As it's after selecting the amount, so it's now summing the amount over. You know, before, if I remove these stories inside this over now, let me show you something. Well, everything is just for reference. I'll show you guys something. Control X. Did you see what it did? Who asked the question the last time? Was it Jamiu? No, who asked the question about the group by? But if you can see what this thing did here, once you just say this over, it's just like select all of this so over. So it's doing it over the total, which is I didn't see anything into the over function, the over clause. So it's empty. So it's just calculating everything. So the first day this guy transacted or did the transaction was 2023 October 11th. He did 70, but his total balance is this. Can you see it? Account balance, so to say, or total account or amount he transacted. The second time was 2024 January. You see this, but this is giving me just the total of everything that this guy have done in terms of transactions. But then if I want to now see every transaction and the way the transaction now sums up to the total progressively, that's where this thing will come in. We are going to now partition it by this person. So what partition by is doing is, out of all the transaction, partition by is like saying each account should start to show me his own total, particularly to that person. So I'm partitioning by the account ID, and I'm also ordering it by the transaction date. If you check, it's going from the least, the earliest to the max. So when you use partition by, you can just, let me remove this. Let me show you guys, because some I want to ask. If I add just partition by in the whatever, see what will happen. It's giving me the same thing, but did it wrong? Okay, it's giving me the same thing, but I don't know. It's even ordering itself for me.
It's because you've used order by.
I've used order by already. I already used order by already in the last one. So, but then no problems. But you get the idea behind this. So it's giving me each of the transaction. If I remove this, let me show you guys something. If you remove this and you just run it, it will still order it because I've already ordered it here. This is I've already ordered it inside here, but then just for coding sake or whatever, let me just add it here. But the main thing is you should understand what the difference between group by and the over clause. So it's important to know the difference because they have different use cases. If, for instance, let's look at this second guy. Let's see 1068. 1068. 1068. 1068. What 1068 would do, putting it to show me for this the guy alone 1068 and everything. But it's not just giving me the total, but the contribution. So the first one was 80.31, second one was 221. If you add 221.68 with 80.31, you're going to have 301.99. So it's giving me a running total. That's why I just named it as running total. So the best place, if you ask me, explain partition by with over clause in 2 words alone, I'll just tell you running total. That's what I'll tell you. Okay, let's move forward. Let's see. In partitioning, we can rank. If you are to use Windows function, we can rank. We're going to do that now. So we use the transactions table so that you see it clearly. So let's write something else. Let me write from beginning. I want to copy and paste. So let's select this time around. The same thing we are selecting account ID. I want to see the account ID, very important because account we are dealing with transaction. Let's look at transaction ID. That okay, transaction ID. Let's see the amount as usual. Let's rank it. You call the rank, then you call the over function. You see what it does. Rank. After ranking, inside rank, we can still put some things in rank. But let's do this. Rank over. Let's rank over, then as usual, partition by. Is that partition correct? Okay. Let's partition it by account ID. That's showing me the individual just for this particular account. It's just the same with what we did here. But this time I use date. Partition by account ID. Let's order by amount descending. Let's call this rank because what I did here, I was ranking it. I want to rank it. You see what rank would do? You know what to rank means in English word? Like you are ranking something. You see what it does. So let's call this rank. Then you can even use. Let me use tab. You can use. See what it does. Something called dense rank. Let me just show you. So that's called dense rank. Sorry, this is complex, but I would explain. Then we'll see call this over and see partition it. I'll break it down as usual. Just stay with me, please. Partition by. Let's use the same thing. Account ID and see order by amount. Then this time around, let's still do descending rank. Then call this dense rank. You see the difference between rank and dense rank. That's what I just want to show you. Let's call this like capital letters as dense rank. Dense. Let's call this dense rank. Okay, let's call this dense rank from transactions. And let's just see where this time around. Let's do something different. Where's the table? Okay, here's the table. Okay, let's see the ones status that are successful or pending. So let me use where status is equal to, let's see success. Is it success or successful? They said it. Success. Okay. All small letters. So where status is success. Let me limit to. Let's see the first 20. Okay. Let's see the first 20. I'll show you what this thing does. Hopefully it runs. Hey. I think I said order without order by. Is that what this is?
Transactions.csv.
Oh. Oh God. You see why I wanted straight names. Thank you. So transactions.csv. I think I still said order without order by. Let me bring this down and see what's going on. It's order by now. Non-disciple. At or near order. Is this because this is? Okay, let me leave it here. This is supposed to work.
There's a comma beside the account ID. That other bracket.
Oh, thank you. So you guys are really following. But it's like I'm hearing just one person speaking. Please, let's just stay with me. Look at now. See, look at something. I'll show you the difference between this one and the last one we did. We have account ID, right? Selecting account ID and breaking it down now. We have the transaction ID, we have the amount. Now, I don't want to see before now. What I did was I just called over this as total. So it just calls me, the first one calls this as it shows me all the total. This is repeating itself. The second one I did, I said partition by the account ID. So show me the particular transactions, each of them that this one was making by the date and order it by the transaction date. Call it running total. So we see if you use partition by, what this will do is breaking it down so you can see the subunits that contributes to the amount. Okay. Now this one, what this does is we are ranking it. So that's the difference between this one and the last one I did. So I'm ranking it as per if you check this 260 is 1. So after counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's going to start again. So what rank does is let's look at this first one now. 101, this is the transaction ID, this is the amount, this is the rank, this is the dense rank. So rank leaves gap where there's a tie. Once there is a tie, for instance, it leaves the gap where there's a tie. But dense rank, it does not leave a gap. So so you can see, let's look at it deeply. Just investigate this. Look at this amount. The rank is 1, 202, rank is 2, 195, this 5. Then it starts again, 26 points. Once there is a gap, once there is a, how do I put it? Rank leaves a gap where there is a tie. When there is a tie, it will just leave a gap, but dense rank does not. So if you can see, trying to look for a gap here, so that I will show you what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me bring this. Let me see. 30. Come on. Okay. I'm trying to check something. So I don't know if, so basically it's how do I explain this now? So if you can see, each of these row has a ranking assigned to it, right? So it's assigning it based on this particular column or expression. So once there's a rank, like if you find look at the top records now from 1 to 5. So it's assigning the same rank to people that are in the same row. So you can see rank 1, 260.8. See this one in 1, 265. So it's ranking it like the top records and to the bottom records. So ranking, this one is ranking this as 1 because it's among the top ones, 260. See this rank 1, 265. See this rank 1, 466. So it's ranking it. If you come to this one again, 420. So it's starting like from the max. This is the second one, rank 2. We look at rank 2, 202. Rank 2 here is 216. Do you get? So when multiple rows like this have the same value, you should just assign the same rank to those rows. When they're having same value to just assign a rank to it. So that's what this is doing. But then dense rank is just like the opposite. Once there is a how do I call it? Once there is a bridge, it will just keep a space. Once there's a gap, once there's a tie, it will leave a gap. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you understand what I'm saying, give me a thumbs up. Let me look. I can't even see. Let me check the comment section. Okay, you understand. Okay, all right. What is the role of partition by account ID when we filter it from one account ID? So if you can't, you filter by one account ID. When we filter for one account ID, we did not filter for one account ID. We just said where status is success. So we're looking at successful transfers, transactions, and it's partitioning it. So we're asking why we do this is because you must partition by something. If you don't use this partition by, it will just do the over for you, and you have to remove this order by, because partition and order, they go together. So if you are partitioning, then you order, but we are not filtering. Is dense rank same as row number? No, I won't say it's the same as row number. It's not the same as row number. I won't call it row number, so to say. Dense ranking is more of like, how do I explain it? Dense ranking is, it doesn't skip ranks when they are ties. That's what I've just said. It doesn't skip any rank. Even if they are tie, even if they are the same, there's a tie, it notices. It will not skip it. But rank is to skip even if you see ties. So when you ask, when do I use dense rank? So you use dense rank, excuse me. So you use dense rank when you want to assign maybe consecutive ranks. Even if they are ties, you still want to just consecutive ranks, even if they are ties, because dense rank will not skip it. It doesn't skip it. You can also use dense rank when you need to calculate rankings. Maybe top 3 scores now, for instance. You can use dense rank, top 3 scores. So do you get? So that's ranking. It's not widely used, but if you are to use it, you use it in, like, you rank, you call out the rank, then you partition it. Let me remove this dense rank. If I remove this dense rank now, say Control X, just like this. Okay, yeah, so something like this. I'm just ranking it now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see top based on top 5. So rank. Sorry, this one was just over my head. I was thinking I can specify the number of ranks. I'll check out that later. But then you get the idea of what I'm saying. So we can use rank. Rank is just one of the things we discussed today. So we can get the ranking. So we can see rank 1, the ones that are in the first league. Rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, rank 5, rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. You can see rank 4, rank 5. So it's ranking it based off of the top. Let me put it that way. This is rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4. See that I did not do rank 5. I started with rank 1 again because this 23 is like low. So you look for another high number. Rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4. There's rank 5. There's rank 6. You go back to rank 1 again based off of, as I said, top scores. So that's how this ranking works. And you can only call rank, then the over. I remember over can have the partition inside, and partition goes with the order by, or you don't have it at all, and it just gives you the sum total, just like what we had here. Where's it? Yeah, this is. So we just call the over, no issues. It will just give you the total. But if you want the running total, I used to call rank over and partition by running total to make things easy for me. So when you understand what, if you maybe did business maths or statistics, or you know how to use Excel very well, you understand what running total is. Calculate it. This plus this will give this. This plus this will give this, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So I guess we can continue. So the next thing we'll do is, because I'm following, I was like, I don't want to talk out of what we have today. Time has really gone. But are we following? If you are following me, just give me a thumbs up, because I know Windows function can be very, 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 very anyhow. If you are following me, give me a thumbs up. Oh. Okay, that's good. Deborah, your hands are raised. You can go ahead. You want to ask a question, Deborah? Okay, maybe that was a mistake. So the next thing we'll do is, let's compare, this. Let's look at lag and lead. So I'll show you how to use lag and lead with the over plus. So we'll do that together and we'll see what we have. So we're still going to use transactions table. Because of time, we'll just copy some of these things. Copy this. Just stay with me. SQL needs patience. Very humbling stuff. Before I learn some of these things. So let's select transaction ID. Let me select the date. Account ID, transaction date. Let me work with date. I don't need ID. Just let's use date now. Let's use date. Then transaction amount. Then you see what lag does. Lag of amount. Let's put it this way. Lag of amount. Then I'm not ranking. Over lag of amount over, then partition by account ID, order by transaction date. Let's order by the date. Transaction date. Let's transaction date. Then as, let's call it previous or prev amount. See what lag does. We are using lag and lead now. So we are comparing rows with lag and lead. That's what we're doing. Comma. Then let's see. Let's do one calculation here. Amount minus lag. Let's lag amount. Then over partition by. This is funny. Why is it coloring my Bible, not partition? Partition by account ID. Account ID. See, let's still order it. Order by transaction. Transaction date. Transaction date. Let's call all of this. Let's see the difference. The difference from transactions.csv, where account ID. Let's look at just one account now. Since we are using your account ID is one. Let me use this account ID 1011. 1011. Let's limit it to 10. I would advise always close your this semicolon, always do it, because Postgres you don't need to do it, it will still run. But if you are using like someone like me, I use Postgres, I use MySQL, I use NoSQL. So if you are using all these things, always close it with this. Share MySQL to disturb you if you didn't close it. But Postgres you can do it without closing. I'll show you guys something. I will just leave this for 10 seconds. Look at it before I say anything. What do you notice? Just look at it. Just look at I won't say anything. Just 10 seconds. Study it. Study the code, study the result. Okay. I guess test time is up. So let me explain what this is doing. And you see the use case. Lag and lead is showing to spot unusual jumps, unusual differences, sudden large amount payments. The government, banks, FBI used to use something like this now to track sudden jump in payments. Maybe every month, on average, you earn $50. All of a sudden, they're now seeing a spike, the difference of maybe millions in dollars. They'll flag your account. And that's how I'm telling you how all these things works in terms of banks. That's why I decided to use this transaction data set. They'll flag your account and they'll invite you and they speak with you, they talk to you. How did you get this amount? What's your source of income? That's why we watch all these crime movies. Once you get sudden drug money, whatever, you try to launder it. You don't just pump it to your account balance or deposit it. They'll flag your account and you'll be investigated. This is something like this they do. Real use case scenario. So we want to see sudden spikes, sudden jumps, differences, and investigate it. So I'm selecting the account ID, which is this. First things first. What do we want to see? We want to see the account ID. Fine and good. It's here. The transaction date is here. No stories. Those ones are easy to get. Amount. This is it. So this is where the story is now. The magic is happening. And I will explain it to you. So I'm selecting the amount, but then see what we are doing here. We are not just, remember, I want to spot differences with the lag and lead, sudden spikes, sudden jumps, sudden downward trend. We want to see it here. So what we do is we use the lag. So what I did here, lag amount over partition by. So I'm using the Windows function now. Over. Remember what I told you about over. We are over and partition by. It gives the running total. It's just when I say over and partition, just to make it easy for you, just think of running total. So it's now giving me the running total of this by account ID of this person by the date descending as previous amount. So it's giving me, see what this is doing. The previous amount that this, how do I explain this? Okay, yeah. So if you see this amount 260, the previous amount is 52.39. So the next one is 52.39. Previous amount is 195.33. This is 195.33. Previous amount is 202. Like that, as we go. So what this is doing is giving us the previous amount because it's giving, what this over and partition is doing is running total, but it's giving me as previous amount. So if you do 512, 52.39, 195.33, this is we still see them here. See these things here. We still see them here. So it's now returning this as previous amount. This is the initial amount, but it's giving me as previous amount. Then what am I doing? I'm now saying amount minus the lag amount. That's the normal amount which you see here. There's a comma here. So after the comma, we can see the amount minus. So I want to see the difference. So amount minus the lag amount over this. So this is, take this into consideration. This one here. So when you're using the lag, you must use it with the over because you want to see the lag, you want to see the over, you want to partition it, and you want to order it. So the lag amount over partition by the account ID, just the same thing that we wrote here. You're just repeating it. So what this is doing, if you look at this, study that, and look at this. You see that they are the same thing. They are the same thing. But what this is now doing is just subtracting, it's saying amount minus this, and it's also showing us this, and it's also showing us the amount. So this minus this, this minus this, this minus this, this minus this. So on a regular, the difference should maybe plus or minus the average. But imagine you see sudden downward turn. You see that for that particular day, 5th of whatever, maybe January, February, March, April, you know, the month. So is difference is having a negative. That day, there was maybe that month, the income was very little. That was this one. So we use the lag and the lag to see sudden downward spikes. So unusual jumps, sudden downward spikes. So use it to spot differences. So you're going to see you're just spotting unusual jumps, something like that. Let me just put it that way. So that's what lag does. So if I use lead will look at the next. Lag is looking at the previous. So when I look at this lag, when I write lag amount is like taking former amount, the previous lag, the previous amount, and partitioning it by this as previous amount. So the amount that came before this guy here was 5152.39. The amount that came before this one here was 52.39. The amount that came before this one was 195. So previous amount is just showing the amount that is coming. See, after 260 we have 52 bar. So for this one, the lag will be this. For this one, the lag will be this. So at the end of the day, if you now subtract difference, it's just like the transactions that are coming in. You're now seeing the trends, but the differences in the previous trends, such that you can see a sudden spike. So if you look at the month of January, 260, 52.39. That's this next amount. Then like that. Then at the end of the day, you have the difference. The difference is just the normal amount minus this thing you just calculated there. You just rewrite it and name it as difference. That's why you have difference here. If you say, let's name it as, call this lag difference. So we're going to have lag difference here. Jamiu, you have a question?
On the lag, from the data as from the date that is showing, seems to be the next is the data is not the previous amount are not is the next amount.
I don't understand.
The first one,
Okay,
the first date,
like this.
Yes, this date is first of this is January 2024. Then the next one is May 2024. The one that is calling previous amounts here is the next amount, not the previous amount.
Okay, I get what you are saying. Like this is 260. The next one is 552, but it's going as the previous amount, right? Let me answer that question. Let's change this from lag to lead. Yes. This is what I was looking for. Let me show you something. Let's use this data lab is supposed to be coloring some of these things. All these syntaxes, this lead now should have a color. It's just selecting all these normal select order. Those are the things it's just. Well, that's by the way. Lead amount, then let's see. I want to show you. Can you spot the difference? See, this is 260, right? 52, 195, 202. So let's call this lead amount as, let's say, not like different. Let's call this as next. Since it's not pre, let's say next, and just call this as next amount. Then lead amount, blah blah blah. Okay. So this is how it works. I'm really looking for the words to explain this. But you see the difference between the lag and the lead. The lead, this first one was 260. Since this is lead, you know it's supposed to this 52 should also be the next one here, but you have it as empty because since it is lead, there is nothing in front of it. There's nothing here in the next amount because I'm using lead. But for this 52, it will now call this 260. It's just like the inverse. This 52 will now call 260, 195, which is this one. The previous amount, which is this, which was this. It's just like the opposite. Let me put it that way. Inverse. Did you see this thing was supposed to, you expect it that this would have done this for the lag? Shay, is that what you were expecting?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. But some of these things, honestly, I've asked myself this same question. But it's because this is used for detecting sudden trends, jumps, spikes. You can see that if you subtract this from this, this from this, you'd have this. So some this from this from this, you'd have this. No, sorry. If you do this from this, you'd have this. If you do this from this, you'd have this. In Excel, this thing is like what's the name of this function in Excel that does this exact thing? I think that's forgotten, but it's I've forgotten, but Excel does something like so. It's just like inverse. I really can't really, even when I learned this, it was shocking to me because this is obviously lag, but then it's lead that does this thing. If you change this to lag, this is supposed to color this thing so I can spot the syntaxes faster. This is lag. For the next class, I will use pgadmin. If you run this, call this now as previous amount. Call this previous amount. So you see that it's doing what is this what I did before? Okay, yeah, I guess. Yeah, this is the result was given before. That's so. So you assume that this was supposed to give lead, but this is lag. So that's but what this just does majorly is show spikes in differences. You can now investigate what happened here? What happened in this month? What happened? Why are you having a negative difference in your income? So you can spot differences. Sudden jump, sudden spike. It just helps you spot sudden unusual jumps, unusual spike. So you only use it for rare cases, sure, but it's good you know it when you are doing large payments or large data sets, something like that. Perhaps companies like OP will do stuff like this. Imagine you as OP user every month, averagely less than 500,000 in your account. Then one day they just see 10 million. You start monitoring it. They can give your account to EFCC. Is it EFCC? Yes, should be EFCC. So they start monitoring about Nigeria. We don't Nigeria. If not, they would have caught some of internet fraudsters. But then this is the use case. The last one we touched today before supposed to go into data manipulation, but we just do one more so that I don't make this too complex. But to do a recap, I'm going to do a quick recap. So we were looking at someone's mic is unmuted and disturbing this class. Please check your mic. So yes, to do a recap, we are looking at the Windows function. I wonder why they call the Windows function, but I assume it's because window, you know what Windows does? If you have a window to your house, you can see what is inside your house. So if you have a complex or a grouped item, we can now see the contribution of the individual items that makes up the group item. That's why it's probably Windows function. I'm just saying that's how I interpreted it. Now we've broken it down. We said we've used the over plus the over compares to just the group by. You can now spot the differences and know which to use whenever you want to use them. In over, we can use the partition by and the order by, where partition will split the data into small groups. No stories told. Attendance. Divine. I said divine. Benedict. Let me check the Let me check. Just wait, because I'm the only TA on call. Let me get their
Yeah,
time
I'll
down so
send
we
it
get.
in the next 7 minutes.
Oh, okay. You have, yeah, good. Thank you, because
Yeah.
yeah, thank you very much. So as I was saying, to recap, you know that partition by is just breaking it into small groups. If this is the only thing you learned, you understand it very well. Partition by and the over, you are very good, because this Windows function, many people don't know it, many users. So it's good you know it. And normally use group by when you want to summarize data into one row per group, one row per group. But it means that you would lose individual row details. You don't even, if I group by account ID now, I've done that before. If I let's say group by maybe status, you'd only see the amount, the total amount of each status. But Windows function will fix that by allowing us to see the group results. Not only that we'll see the group results, but we would also see each row that contributes to the group result. That's the beauty of Windows function. So we've used the partition by, we've used the order by, and me I used to call partition by running total. That's how I love to call it. So it's easy for me. Where we looked at something like this. Remember, call the over. We call the over function, the over, then partition by. This over in my Nigerian, because I have a Nigerian background. So how I interpret all these things, it might be different from how you interpret it. But how may I interpret this over is out of all these sums, so over what? Like it's over what? What is the total? So now over will now open the bracket. You can now split the over to partition it into smaller groups. So I want to see the contribution of this. I'm partitioning it by this account ID. So it's going to show me the contribution of this particular account ID that I've already filtered for, and show me their individual. So it's showing me this and running it for me as the running total. So that's how it works. If you understand this, then you've understood major issues in SQL. So also went to see, okay, yeah, we did yeah, this is ranking. Yeah, we did ranking. Yeah, we have rank, and we have, what's the second one again? Dense rank. Then the last one we did today was the lag and the lead. These are all Windows functions. So these are focused today, Windows function. But then we are supposed to touch which we are going to do right now. I'll do that before we go. No, the attendance has not been shared. It has not been shared. It has not been shared. So just hang in there. So the last thing we'll do today. Okay. Oh, all right. So let's do just one. Just want to, we'll just touch it. Just data manipulation with window functions. So first things first. There are functions that can help us to clean, to format, and analyze data. So let's look at. Let me clean strings. You know what strings are, right? Strings are text. Strings. Let's use the user data. Select. Let me select all this time around. Select all from users.csv. Just this. Just want us to see the users data. Once you see how we can do some calculations even with strings. Remember, the user ID, the person's name, email, and the date they signed up. Okay, I think that we have that. Since we have that, so let's select the user ID. Let's select. Imagine we want to see, we want to do some cleaning, so to say. So select user ID, and you can see all of them are in, okay. You can see one is uppercase, the others are small. The first letters are upper cases. Let's play with something. Let's say upper. See upper function now. Upper function, what we to do is to do what upper does. And see substring. This thing should be coloring. Don't know. Substring the name, then name 1, 2, 3. Let's say 1. Or explain this. Well, let me run this first. Then let's call this maybe a nickname, or let's call it as short code, maybe easy identifier. I'm going to dissect these strings now. That's what I'm doing. Then lower. This is upper. Let me use lower. Just stay with me. These are data manipulation. Then I'm trimming the email. Okay. And I'm saying I'm claiming it as clean mail. I say clean mail from users or CSV. Yeah. See what this will do now. See what this will do. Yeah. Sorry, come out here. Yowa. You see what this did? It means that SQL has given you scissors in your hands to dissect and manipulate strings. This is for strings. We have the one for date and time, combining functions. We even have for, I think, yeah, just those few ones, basic ones. But let's look at strings. Did you see what happened here? I specified that I want upper cases, and it should just pick the first and the third. The first and the third, which is first to the third, sorry. See what I would do now, so that would follow through. After this, that'll be the end of our class. Just want to show you guys something. Run. You can see ALL here. BRI. Let's say I want to pick first names alone. So let's say one. What's the longest name here? As in some names are long. Okay, I will just do first to seventh, for instance. I'll use as their short code. So look at what this is doing. Let me explain it. Stay with me. After this, don't worry. We'll end the class. But just look at what this is doing. I'm not just changing it to upper cases, because what upper does is changing it to upper. In Excel has the same this, but Excel is, I don't want to open my Excel and show you past Excel, so bye bye to Excel. But please always do practice with Excel. So what upper does is gives everything upper cases. But now I'm not just changing this or selecting this upper case. I want to substring it. Substring, you ask me, so why am I not using a trim here instead of, why am I not using a trim and using substring? Trimming will cut. Substring would select between strings. So what am I substringing? In quotes, the name, which is this name. And I want to just see from the first to the third. So substring, comma, first to the third. If I change this to 7, it will bring from first to 7. So it will pick ALL367. To pick Allison, but it won't just return Allison with small letters like this. Everything will be in upper cases. Did you get that? So that's what this will do. And I can call it as, let's give them, if the bank is saying, we want to assign nicknames to our users and wish them happy birthday messages. How do we do? Imagine you get a message and from a birthday, and instead of using your full name, you want to use a nickname for you. For instance, I'm just saying. So they are selecting from your first letter of your name to the 7th one, and saying that is your nickname. And the second one, lower will return everything as small cases. But I want to trim it. Now, see the difference between trim and substring. Trim will just cut it. Trimming will trim the email. It will just cut the leading spaces. Sorry, that's what trim does. Even in Excel, I think Excel you can use trim to cut extra leading spaces. So trim would just cut off every leading spaces and return it as email. So when you run this something like this, you would see you can see this, right? So you see it all caps. Allison, Brian Y. If you can't Brian Y, it took the space because it's part of the 7 characters I wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space 6, Y7. You see that? So on and on and on. If I want my emails, I don't know who will write emails at upper cases, but if you want, you can run this, it will just return everything as, but it's so awkward. Something like this. You see it. Oh, please let me use that slower. It's weird. Emails should be lower cases. So yeah, we have lower cases. So this is just manipulation of data. So upper makes text upper cases, trim remove spaces, and the lower cleans up the email text by changing the orientation. That's lower cases. But trim remove spaces. I don't know if there are spaces here, so we'll check. No spaces because it has been trimmed. It has been trimmed. So that's for text strings. But just for datetime, you can even there's something called, let me quickly do datetime. We have 5 minutes, so let me quickly do datetime. Just data manipulation. To manipulate things is just like playing with, you can whatever. In fact, the only limitation is your mind. Let me use transactions data now. Since we have transaction dates, and look for where there is date. So let's see. Select. There's a keyword called date trunk. Date trunk. Date trunk is to like date truncate. Truncate is an English word. You can tell me what truncate means. Is it truncate? You can write it in the comments. You can check your dictionary. I want to really know what does truncate, the English word truncate mean. Just
It means to
type
cut
it out.
short.
To cut short. Good. So to give someone a threat. Don't try me. I will truncate your life. Is that English correct?
The Nigerian way.
Yes. I like the answer. The Nigerian way. So to truncate means to cut short. But let's cut short the data now. See what we have. So I want to cut the dates and I want to see just the month. That's what this is saying. See what this is saying? Select date trunk, but give me just the month, the month in the transaction date and return it as month. If you call date trunk and just say month, it will ask you and you just return as month. It will throw up error because you need to call out what table, what column your month is, like the date you want to truncate is. So yeah, so let's go with another one. Then this is just normal ones we know. Sum of amounts is just normal aggregation. So let's sum the amounts and say total amounts. Then from transactions, yes. Then let's group by the month. After the thing has truncated the month, the date for us, we are going to have this month. So that month that you give us, I want to truncate by the month. So I'm grouping by month. Don't be surprised I'm grouping by this month. But you say, but the month is not in the table. It's there because I already have it as an alias. So I've created this already. So I'm grouping by that which I created. Group by month and order by the month. You can see I'm using a group by because there is aggregate function here, sum. So take note. Oh my god, what did I do? Group by month. So close it and this command should not be here. So let's see what we have. Fully works. Transaction.csv. Okay. So let's see what we have, and I bid you guys a happy day. Oh, it didn't work. It's not in a date format. Oh my god. So what it also do is she just give us the month. Date trunk will truncate and give us the month. Just the month. And give it to us as month. Then sum the amount, which is this, as total amount. This is not our concern. This is this. But we are supposed to be able to manipulate this date and give us as this. I think this data has errors from beginning. Let me see. See minutes. This merchant. This transactions table. What is this? What? I hope all these things are saved. You don't understand what this is. What's going on? It's not responding. It says the page is not responding. Okay, good. It's now I'm scrolling up, it's not moving. Anyways, we've established the fact date trunk just retrieves the particular, if you want the year, if you want the month, that's what it will retrieve for you. So that's what date trunks does. Let me want to try something. Let's remove this. Let's remove this. Select all. Oh, I knew that the date has issues. So see the date format 202408 blah 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 T05 blah blah blah. So it's not a proper date format, but let's leave it. The main thing is you understand what date trunk does. As one of us has said, truncate means to cut. So they didn't successfully cut this out because it's not in a proper date format. So usually to return just the month, and you can group by the month, and you can order by the month. And you know what order? I don't know who taught you order. I think it should be Mr. Emmanuel has gone through order with you. You can by default SQL will order as ascending. If you don't specify, you can now say descending if you want. Start from the highest to the lowest, then ascending lowest to the highest. So at this point, I hope Windows function was not too complex for you. In a recap, we've done partitioning, over, seen the difference between group by, also showed you how to import data, and lag and lead. So I think we've made good progress today. So just SQL is just constant practice. I would recommend
Sorry,
this
please,
website
can
for
you
you.
recap what you said about date trunk?
Okay, date trunk from the word
Yes.
truncate. If you know the origin,
Okay.
date trunk groups groups your, how do I put it? It groups your data by the month. This is what we're trying to do here. It's grouping by the month, but it's now returning just the month. Do you get that?
Yes, I'm getting you.
So what this will do is it's what it's supposed to return now for this. Just to return the month for us, the particular month itself. Do you get that?
Yes.
Okay, so it did not really work for us. That's why we're having, why I said maybe because of the format. Because of the format. So probably that's why there's an issue. It didn't do that for us. So, but do you understand what I said in escape for the date trunk?
Yes, actually, the trunk truncates only the month from the date, like the date variable. Like date as
Okay,
an
so
integer, right?
Okay, see what, so let me explain it very well. By truncate that I'm saying, it's not supposed to just write maybe January here. So I was expecting it, or at least I'm expecting to just show the month. The month here is 10, right? For this one here, you can see my screen. So what the value is working, but this, I don't know if it's not working. It is supposed to show me, this is what this is showing, this one here, this first row. It's showing all the transactions that were done in October of 2025. But then this is also change. I'm expecting it to change to maybe 10th 2025. So date trunk is not just cutting it and just returning the month, but it's grouping every transaction that was done in, sorry I didn't say this, it's grouping every transaction that was done in October. That's what date trunk is. So when I say date trunk month, let me date trunk to year. You see what I'm saying? Let's date trunk to year. Oh, group by year. But don't worry. So date trunking to year is showing me every transaction that was done in each year. So since this is as months, I can change this to group as year and order by. Do you see the difference? So if maybe I was expecting this to change to maybe just 2025. I don't know if it's just me or this is how it used to be. But what the amount is, what the action that is being performed is now showing all the amounts that happened in 2025. All the amount that happened in 2024, 2023. If I detrunk today, it will show me by day. It's going to be a long stuff. See, it's taking time. So it's per day, per day. Let me change this to ascending, or let's leave it as descending. So 5th of October. Today is 4th, Abi. So it's per day. So every day for each day. So you can use this to do a trend line. If you export this data, you can do a line chart that shows the progression. That's for day. If you want to do it by, I think month is way better. But if you want to see by year on year growth, you can detrunk to year. So what the trunk will just do is, based on all the years you have, it will group by year. Did you get?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, good. But I was expecting, while I was complaining for data, I was expecting this to just return 2025, 2024, 2023. I don't know if it's because it's data lab, but then the essence is just that it's grouping just by the year. So I've showed you the trunking by year, by month. Let me do month again so you can see the difference. So month, you see each month. You can even use your eye. Tell me from. Let me now say order by descending. Order by, let's not order by month descending. Order by amount, by total amount. Order by total amount descending. So this question answers the month with the highest transaction, right or wrong? Right. So you can see that February of 2024 had the highest transaction, 10,000 naira or $10,000. The next is July of 2025. So it has been a month truncated. So yes. So no, see, all these things are very, very, when it comes to real life use cases, they are very, very useful. So we wouldn't have known this if we didn't do. In fact, group by will just group by the dates you see here. But trunk, this date trunk would show me by month, by year, by day, by quarter. Let me try quarter. Hopefully it works. I've never tried quarter before. We don't know if it's part of it. Oh, I'm expecting an error. It worked. Can you imagine? You see, sometimes SQL is not just the manual you follow. Just if you think about it, you try it out, it works. Let's group by. Let me order by quarter. Wow, this is surprising. Order by quarter descending, and let's call this quarter. Wow, I learned something today. Thank God. And group by. Let's group by quarter now. Just group by quarter. If this works, then Is this working? Or am I just streaming? Order by quarter. I think this worked. Oh my god. This really worked. So we have 2025 10:01, 07:01, 04:01, 01:01, 10:01, 7:01, 4:01. So this is 2025 quarter 4. This is quarter 3, quarter 2, quarter 1, 2024 quarter 4, quarter 3, quarter 2, quarter 1. Quarter is 3 months. So from 01 to 04 is like quarter 1. So this is quarter 1, quarter. This worked. Jeez. So you can see day trunk can even trunk by quarter. That's quarter 1 through 4. This is amazing. So this is how powerful SQL is. The only limitation is, as I said, is your mind. So two things to take home today. Day trunk, which is manipulation with data. We also have substring. I told you what substring does. You are selecting from one string to the other. Upper is uppercase is lower. Trim is remove. Leading spaces is just a recap. Then we did ranking over. All right, guys. So we where is it? Let's stop sharing. So we have come to the end of today's lesson, SQL, and yeah, I've done a recap of what we did. So please sign your attendance, click on the link, and stay very faithful to your lessons. It will look stressful. It's looking Imagine it with your daily activities can be very stressful, but still do it. Still do it. Still do it. And you're welcome. You're welcome. So we are all learning. You can see today I learned that you can quarter trunk. I never knew in my life since I've been using SQL. 1 year now, because I'm 1 year into SQL. It's not like I one guru like that. 1 year and 6 months, yes. I never knew I can quarter trunk. So I learned that today. So don't fail to join your lessons, your breakout session. Next week, attempt your certification tests and do your task and your assignments and have fun. Just break it down to your own understanding. I like to relate it because I love physics. I love to relate things to real world. So you see me if I'm explaining to you, I'm using analogies that relates to real life. You can do that for yourself and it works for you. You can do that. And yeah, if you have any issues or whatever, you can always reach out to me for help. So it was nice having you guys on board. It's been the last time I went with you guys on the lesson was I think 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks. Yeah, because that was in Excel. But SQL is also good. Although I don't really love it, stresses me out. But then one step at a time. So thank you all for joining. If you have a friend that was supposed to be in this class that was not here, advise the person to join next week. Because next week we'll go into something more complex. All right. So this is 12 minutes past 8. Thank you guys and do have an amazing evening and weekend. I'll see you. Yeah, see you. Thank you, Manuel. Thank you, Ashimi. See you guys. Mavis, Josiah, Victor. See you all. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Mohammed, Jamiu. See you guys. You can leave the call, but make sure you sign your attendance. Thank you, Chidima. Sign your attendance. See you guys next week.
Good evening, course rep. Please, can you help present the link to this attendance? I don't know if you can hear me.